Hello and welcome to the news at 2 on Ogtv. I am Simiat Abaru. The Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has advised the personnel of the Nigeria Customs Service to be civil in their operations so as to stop the loss of lives occasioned by incessant clashes between the agency and people at the border town areas of the state. Governor Abiodun made this plea while receiving the State Controller, Nigeria Customs Service Area 1 Command Controller Ndera Nadi in his office at Abeokuta. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ghani report.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun and members of the state's Executive Council warmly received the new State Comptroller of Nigerian Customs Service, Area 1 Command, Comptroller Ndera Nadi, to intimate the current administration of his readiness, considering the fact that the Gateway State is the first largest GDP contributor to federal government of Nigeria, adding that his mission is to enforce policies and to change the narrative of the clash between custom and smugglers that affect innocent citizens. Governor Abiodun, who frowned at the incessant killings of innocent people at the border post, harped on the need for custom officials to come up with programs and policies that will promote cordial relationship between the agency and the people.
Because really, yes, like you said, you have your responsibilities, and we know those responsibilities. They are meant to protect the territorial integrity of our country against, smugglers and against goods that are inferior and adulterated goods and so on and so forth, and even against people who may want to infiltrate through our borders. And those responsibilities are very huge responsibilities. But we must find a way to discharge those responsibilities with a human face and with an understanding that, you are there to serve, the people. You are not enemies of the people.
While assuring the custom of utmost support and cooperation, the governor also said the Nigerian Customs Service must change the narrative of the era of invading market and shooting sporadically.
So I want to implore with you that it's very nice to hear all what you've said coming from the head of Customs in Ogun State. I certainly look forward to collaborating and cooperating with you. I would like to pledge to you that we'll give you all the support you need to make your tenure a very successful one.
Comptroller Ndera Nadi commended Governor Dapo Abiodun for his developmental approach, particularly in the area of infrastructure, adding that the Nigerian Customs Service is ready to apply new rules of engagement.
And I have told my officers that the narrative of the clash between customs and smugglers that affect innocent citizens should be stopped by all means. We are going to change the narrative, Your Excellency. But again, we will also need, when we make broken officers, is not in their best interest, because officers are trained, they are armed, and attacking somebody that is armed is dangerous, no matter under the circumstance that is going to be.
Governor Abiodun also approved the application of Nigerian Customs Service for the creation of training center at the ongoing construction of the Abeokuta airport to complement and redefine the relationship between the agency and the state government. Yusuf Ghani, Ogtv News.
The Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has assured that his administration will continue to put in place policies and programs to develop and improve manufacturing activities to hasten economic growth of the state. Governor Abiodun gave the assurance during the 36th annual general meeting of the State Manufacturers Association of Nigeria held at the Conference Hotel Okimoson, Abeokuta. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ghani report.
The 36th Annual General Meeting of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Ogun State Branch, had as its theme the African Continental Trade Area Agreement and Nigeria Manufacturing Sector, maximizing the gains, mitigating the drawbacks. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun and members of the state's Executive Council joined the forum to discuss the implications and benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area and sensitize members on the need to prepare and brace up for the multilateral trade agreement, which holds huge prospect for boosting intra-African trade by 52.3%. Governor Abiodun said the AGM is an important platform for the cross-fertilization of ideas for investors to improve the socio-economic development of the country.
Most of this AGM is Because not only are we the industrial capital of Nigeria, we are focused on making the manufacturing sector a key component of the building our future together agenda since the inception of our administration. This is obviously what informed the vision of our administration, which is to provide a focus on qualitative governance while creating an enabling environment for a public-private sector partnership, which we believe is very fundamental to the economic growth of the state and individual prosperity.
He also stressed that the Ishaya mantra of his administration is inclusive for the public-private partnership, which is very fundamental to the economic growth of the state. He added that his administration has embarked on the infrastructure development, which include Aton Agbara, Ijebu-Ode Ekpe and Ogijo roads, as well as the Agrocargo airport, amongst other significant projects, basically to maximize the potentials of the investors.
The rules of man and other partners and stakeholders to complement not only the development of the manufacturing sector, but also towards creation of individual prosperity for our people and the development of our dear state economy. Specifically, you should know that the task of transforming the state into a fully industrialized state can best be achieved with the cooperation of the private sector. Therefore, I join industrialists as corporate citizens to fulfill their obligation to the state by making regular and required remittances.
The Vice President, Western Zone of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Samuel Kolawole, and the State Chairman of the association, Mr. Selim Adegua, appreciate the current administration for its drive to support man activities, particularly in the provision of infrastructure development.
We all need to sustain and improve on the provision of these facilities within and around industrial areas, especially in Ota, Agara, and Ogijo in Ogun State, in order to boost industrial activities and expand opportunities for jobs and wealth creation activities for the citizenry.
Award of appreciation and recognition was thereafter presented to Governor Abiodun for his immense contributions to the State Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
The Ogun State House of Assembly will on Tuesday, 30th November 2021, play host to the State Governor Prince Dakwa Abiodun for the presentation of the year 2022 Appropriation Bill. A statement by the Deputy Clerk of the Assembly, Barrister Mrs. Fumi Adeyemi, indicate that the presentation of the 2022 budget proposal, being the third since inception of the present administration in the state, would take place in the hallowed chamber of the Assembly, Abeokuta, at 10 in the morning. The statement adds that all invited stakeholders, guests, and other government functionaries are expected to be seated in line with COVID-19 protocols by 9:30 in the morning. The Ogun State House of Assembly Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption Committee has directed two former officials of the State Ministry of Works and Infrastructure to appear before the lawmakers on Friday, 3rd of December 2021 for further clarification on the ministry's financial records between 2015 and 2019. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Mushefiu Lamidi, gave the directive while examining the ministry's financial record as presented by the Permanent Secretary, Engineer Lateef Adedimeji, in response to the Auditor General's report on the ministry between 2015 and 2019 at the Assembly Complex, Abeokuta. Correspondent Kolawole Osho covered the exercise. What details of this report are presented in this package.
While examining the records of the State Ministry of Works and Infrastructure as presented by the Permanent Secretary, Engineer Lateef Adedimeji, in response to the Auditor General's report on the ministry between 2015 and 2019, Chairman of the committee, Honorable Mushefiu Lamidi, said it is imperative to invite former Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Engineer Kayode Ademolake, and the former Director of Finance and Accounts, Mr. Lasisi Gbagba, that served in the period under review, to avail the lawmakers the detailed explanation on some infractions recorded in the audit queries. According to the committee, there was a record of irregular award of contracts in the 2019 audit reports, which showed that 2 projects of 13.5 million naira and 14.96 million naira contracted to Messrs. Quaulat Construction Limited and Engineer Mazoya were approved to be executed as direct labor. The committee chairman further added that misapplication of funds was observed by the audit team and recommendations were made to the ministry on this, as the sum of 1.6 million naira approved for capital expenditure were expended on current items, such as newspaper bills and purchase of office stationeries, amongst others. Also, a record of non-retirement of 2019 expenditure was noted, of a sum of 41.2 million naira in respect of 15 payment vouchers, not retired as and when due, which is gross contravention of the Financial Regulation 603 and the circular from the audit of the Auditor General that all expenditures were to be duly retired with invoices, cash receipts, and other relevant supporting documents as evidence of payment for goods and services.
I would like to invite the former Director of Finance and Accounts, Mr. L.K. Baba, to appear before this committee. Also, I would just want the former peers, Engineer Ademolake K.A., to be here with us to shed more light on what transpired in the ministry from 2015 to 2019.
He, however, invited the concerned officials to appear before the committee on Friday, 3rd of December 2021 at 10 in the morning.
The Ogun State House of Assembly has confirmed the nomination of Mr. Oluwashino Olanrewaju Ogungbade by the Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun for the position of Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice following his screening by the lawmakers. The Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, also called for immediate implementation of the State Law Reform Commission 2021 passed earlier in the year during plenary. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
Reading the report of the Committee of the Whole House, chaired by the Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Akim Balogun, moved a motion for the adoption of the report on the screening of the Commissioner nominee, which was seconded by Honorable Ganiyu Oyedeji. The confirmation of the nominee was thereafter done through a motion moved by the Majority Leader, Yusuf Sherif, seconded by Honorable Abdul Bashir Oladunjoye, and supported by the whole House through a voice vote.
Those in support of the motion that the nominee be confirmed, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. I hereby pronounce that the nominee is confirmed by this House and that His Excellency the Governor of the State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, can go ahead and swear him in. I so order.
Meanwhile, Speaker Oluomo has commended the State Command of the Nigeria Police for its efforts at curbing crimes and criminality in the state, especially its recent breakthrough that led to the arrest of a 5-man gang terrorizing communities in Ewekoro local government area, calling for sustained efforts in ridding the state of criminal elements. The Speaker gave the commendation while responding to the submission of a member representing the Ijebu North 2 State constituency, Honorable Dari Kadiri, who reported the case of recent kidnapping of a student and the condition of some roads in his constituency.
I therefore still use this opportunity again to call on the state government and the security agents in the state to step up their game in fighting this security issue. But I must appreciate as well the roles they have played so far to the extent of reducing the level, because at the time it was more rampant than now. And I give kudos to the Nigerian Police Ogun State Command.
He also requested the State Ministry of Works to ensure application of palliatives on the bad portions of some of the roads within the state. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
The Ogun State government has said it will continue to engage stakeholders in the security sector in order to stamp out negative tendencies and activities capable of jeopardizing government effort in developing education for a guaranteed future in the state. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abeokuta, made this known at the end of a meeting with the Ogun State Command of the Nigerian Police at the Officers' Mess, Ibara, Abeokuta, to address the recent security challenges involving some students of secondary schools in the state capital. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
The Ogun State Command of the Nigerian Police has been a critical stakeholder and key partner in the achievements of the goals of the development of an education system devoid of any negative tendencies capable of jeopardizing the future of students. Determined to ensure the continuation of this cordial relationship, this engagement with the Ogun State Command of the Nigerian Police by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology is coming on the heels of recent happenings involving some students in the state capital and the divisional police officer of Adaton Division. Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abeokuta, appreciated the command for always rising up to the occasion by responding to situations as they arise among students in the state secondary schools. Professor Abeokuta admonished parents to talk to their words on the need to shun violence and be of good conduct, as the state would no longer tolerate any of such acts capable of causing unrest across secondary schools in the state.
Nigerian police have been very supportive. They have been helping us to contain all forms of indiscipline and vices that normally will have disrupted activities in our schools. Also, we use the opportunity to also commiserate with Nigerian police on the happen. And some hoodlums, and we wouldn't know that actually attacked when students were on rampage, sometimes on Monday.
Commissioner of Police Ogun State Command, Lanre Bankole, promised adequate security for all secondary schools within the state, as the command was undaunted in its determination to rid schools in the state of all untoward activities.
On all of these occasions, Nigeria police have been very, very prompt in attending to such incidents. We have also made a promise, just like we have done before, that the Nigeria Police Ogun State Command will continue to ensure the safety of all citizens of Ogun State.
Earlier, Ogun State government charged teachers to identify ways for the country to overcome the challenges of bilingualism to avoid being shortchanged in international organizations. So the commissioner, who was represented by the director, Department of Quality Assurance and Teachers Development, Mr. Martins Akinshola, explained that the World French Teachers Day was set aside by the French government for Anglophone countries to honor the women and men at the center of French-speaking movements. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
The government of Ogun State has taken its sensitization program on the State Land Administration and Revenue Management System, OLAMS, to Mowe and its environs. The state government used the occasion to urge people who built a new town acquisition property of the state to come forward and ratify the land. Tunde Olanira report.
The Ogun State Land Administration and Revenue Management System, OLAMS, is the brainchild of the Prince Dapo Abiodun administration to make the processing of certificates of occupancy very easy in the state. This interactive session with the people of Mowe Bafo and its environs is to create more awareness about the program. People of the area are assured of their subscription to the program.
And we, as a community development practitioners, leaders, we will try as much as possible to encourage our people and swing into this action so that everything will work fine.
It's a very good program. People going about buying things of 10,000, 5,000 are getting receipts. Why should somebody build a house without documents? It's a welcome idea.
OLAMS is convenient, stress-free, and guarantees completion within 30 days, according to government officials.
So OLAM's objectives is to give people the opportunity to ratify their documents for their properties, landed assets. So people that have built properties on government land, this is land under acquisition, are invited to take part in this amnesty program. OLAMS is also taking the land sale to the communities and beyond. The land sale is going to be online. everything to do with Olam's is online. It's a ratification process that they can do from the convenience of their own houses, from wherever they are in the whole world.
What we have done in this administration is to look at the past and look at what made it to be that cumbersome. And we have found out that it's in the employment of ICT that we're going to be able to overcome all of that. And this Olam is set to do that. You can even sit in the comfort of your home abroad and transact business through the Olam windows.
But what happens to the homeowners charter subscribers who were not given their certificate of occupancy by the immediate past administration? The Director General, Bureau of Lands and Survey, responded this way.
And so we have been assuring them that we are going to make sure that we look into the past, which I told them there that we actually have been doing perfection of even HUC rather, homeowners charter.
High points of the program was the commissioning of Olam's office in Mowe. Tunde Olaniro, Ogtv News.
Barring all unforeseen circumstances, Ijebu-Ode-Ekpe Road is ready for commissioning by the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, before the end of December. Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure in Ogun State, Engineer Ade Akinsoya, made this known to journalists while on the special inspection of the road. Bumi Adigun was part of the entourage and he completes the story.
The 14-kilometer road Ijebu-Ode-Ekpe, constructed by the current administration in Ogun State, led by Prince Dakpo Abiodun, will be commissioned by the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, in the second week of December.
There are two different projects going on along this axis. Down there, probably after when you come down from the ramp, that's the beginning of the Ijebu-Ode-Ekpe road, which is the first phase of the project. Right now, we have the flyover bridge. So I think we picked the right day to come here. They are pouring the deck right now. You saw me kind of walking around seeing what's going on.
We have waited for you, actually.
Coming from the Lagos end of the just constructed Ijebu-Ode-Ekpe road is a sight to behold. The road has already fixed street lights, laybys, security posts, and a toll point at both ends. And this is a good indication that the road is ready, except for few things to be added in readiness for the President's visit. Krenborg Construction is in charge of this project, and the project manager tells us what the road looks like without driving on it.
Well, I think Oga Commissioner has explained everything regarding the purpose of the project and what's on it. For the technical aspect, let's go to where we are doing the MSE wall and do some explanation there.
The second project, as said by the Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure in this axis, is the flyover. The flyover part that will lead vehicles into Ijebu-Ode and out of Ijebu-Ode towards Shagamu-Ore Road is also nearing completion, as contractors are working day and night to fix the flyover.
We want to be able to finish this before end of say January or before then. I'm pushing them. It's my
No, we will drive on the deck before January.
Yeah, no, yeah. So but the intent is to complete everything. So you see, this side is more or less, they are backfilling it right now. So the other side will start soon.
Also on this trip were the representatives of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, NSC, and Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, who are there to assess.
It's a very impressive construction. We have no doubt that this will contribute to a very great extent to the economic development of our dear state.
First of all, commend the state government. It's a wonderful project. This road is a critical road for the economic development of Ogun State. You know, it links Ogun State and Lagos State together. You can see it. It's marvelous. It's very, very wonderful.
The President of Nigeria is expected to also have a stopover at the Gateway City Gate, erected at the interchange of the state, which represents the 3 roads that leads to Ogun West, Ogun East, and Ogun Central, a project also done by the current administration. Bumi Adigun, Ogtv News.
Now to the foreign story. France Interior Ministers cancelled talks with UK Home Secretary Priti Patel after Prime Minister Boris Johnson called on France to take back migrants who crossed the Channel in an escalation of the political crisis after the deaths of 27 people in the Channel. Gerard Darmanin said France was disappointed by the letter. Mr. Johnson set out 5 steps in his letter to President Emmanuel Macron to avoid a repeat of Wednesday's tragedy. The sinking of the inflatable boat on Wednesday marked the biggest loss of life by drowning in the English Channel on record and included 17 men, 7 women, 1 of whom was pregnant, and 3 children. Finally, on sport, Napoli striker Victor Osimhen is billed to be reevaluated by doctor in the next 15 days after being discharged from the hospital on Thursday after a successful cheekbone surgery. The Nigerian international suffered facial fractures after a clash of heads with Inter Milan defender Milan in Napoli's 3-2 loss to the champions on Sunday. The Serie A table toppers on their official website confirmed that the player was discharged from the hospital and will be closely monitored in his home before his next checkup appointment. And just before we go, it is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. You can watch us live on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on Ogtv website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or email info@ogtv.com.ng. And that's the end of the news at 2. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.
The human brain is one of the largest and most complex organs of the human body. It is made up of more than 100 billion nerves. The brain is responsible for